What's up, you guys? This is Devin from CenturyFX Studios, and we're back with another video. I was outside shooting one of my first spring themed shoots. My friend Carice, she just got her clothes on. She said, "I'm coming out there to shoot." We really were doing a tutorial on high-speed sync, and I was using the 50mm 1.4. I was also using the Tamron 90mm macro lens, the 70 to 200, and I was using the Canon 80D and the 7D Mark One, my bread and butter. So when I was using the 80D, I was like, maybe I can use the dual pixel autofocus in live view. And lo and behold, I was able to use the 50mm at 1.4 using the live view on the 80D. It was amazing, which makes me hopeful for a full frame mirrorless camera that Canon might make because of the software that's in here. And if that's a mirrorless camera, it's going to be pretty much software driven. If it has this dual pixel autofocus and it can focus on the eye just like the Sony's can, I think Sony has a really big competition. But here we're zooming into the face, and as you can see, it pretty much got as good of a focus that I'm going to get on a DSLR on the face with a dual pixel autofocus. But you can see here on the contrasting edges, we're getting some purple fringing from the 50mm 1.4 that I really do not like, because I really want a lot of emphasis to be on these leading patterns, these leading wooden planks that we were in. We were in this kind of like gazebo, and the wood, the walls were like wooden planks, as you can see. But it's really purple on contrasting edges, so I had to go back to the difference slider in Lightroom and actually amp that all the way up to 20 to see if I can get some of that purplish, I don't know, fuzziness off of my contrasting edges. Now, what I was using was a beauty dish. I was using this beauty dish, and when I zoom back in, I'll show you guys the catch lights. But you can see here that these contrasting edges were just looking pitiful and purple. So when people look at it, they don't get as much of the full effect of the clarity and the sharpness and the, this is the whole effect that I was trying to go for. So with all that being said, we were working, we kept working it out, I was in Lightroom for a little while trying to figure out the chromatic aberration. But I was thinking about maybe I should amp up the clarity, but I didn't want to do the clarity because it's already a contrasting image, so you don't need clarity that much. You really don't need it at all. It was a raw image, so I already know that straight out of the camera, if it has this much contrast, we don't need any extra. It's not going to help. So I just wanted to add some more color. I was again using a beauty dish off camera left. You can see the catch light in her eyes. It was just a bad go at it. The 50mm 1.4 did do a good job of separating backdrop, giving me some bokeh. And at 1/800th of a second and pretty much almost broad daylight, we were shooting high speed sync, trying to underexpose the background, kind of giving you this nighty type of vibe when it wasn't nighttime outside at all. So with all that being said, this came out to be a good image after I cut all the defringing on and cut it all the chromatic aberration out. Got all the purple out, and I think the way Photoshop did this was it used kind of like this greenish counterbalance, and it just kind of washed all the purple away and the magenta fringing. It did a really good job at this, but as you can see, I try my best to focus on the face, focus on the eye, but there's no eye tracking autofocus on the 80D. There's just facial tracking. AF servo, it's the dual pixel autofocus technology. So, but it is awesome, and I was glad I was able to use my 1.4 lens and get so many keepable shots because of the dual pixel autofocus. Because on my 7D, the focus points are crammed all in the center, but there's not a lot of them, probably around 17 of them, and all of them are cross type, but not all of them reach out that far. So a lot of times I focus and recompose, and I'll move ever so slightly either in or out, and it'll just be that much out of focus. So I'm glad I was able to use the 80D and get this image off. This adds so much value to my lenses because I'm able to use them at their widest aperture, my 1.8s, my 1.4s, my 2.8s, without having to worry about missing focus or missing the eye or face on a subject. I'm Devin with CenturyFX Studios. Thanks you guys for watching. This is just something that people don't really think about. Everybody thinks that just because you're shooting at 1.4 that everything is going to be happy-go-lucky and it's going to look awesome and buttery and smooth and shallow depth of field. No, it's not like that, and it wasn't like this in this situation. It was just I had to do a little bit of cleaning up based off of the natural image that the 50 millimeter 1.4 gave me. But it is a nice lens. It's cheaper than most lenses with an aperture this wide, and it's an older lens, so a lot of people are not thinking about it. They're just selling it, and it's a lot more doable than the 50 millimeter 1.8. But if you can, you probably want to spring for the 1.8 STM version. All right, guys, have a great day.